Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we've got the Elite Series 116 AJ Styles, and well, I'm pretty excited to get into this action figure review. And well, taking a nice look at the packaging, at least I have the packaging this time around, as compared to, the William Regal that I just reviewed in the last video. We've got some of the figures down in this wave, including Flying Brian Pillman himself, his son Lexus King, Randy Orton with an updated torso. I don't know if I'll get that Randy. I would like to, but I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on it. Got Jade Cargill, Kevin Owens, and the man I got himself, AJ Styles. Of course, I have Lexus King as well. But yeah, I don't really have all that much more left to say. Why don't we get into this AJ Styles action figure review and break him out of his plastic prison now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys. Now that we got the AJ Styles out of his plastic prison, we can go all over his accessories now. First things first, we've got the two different sets of hands. We've got his mic holding hand / weapon holding hands. And then we've got his P1 stance, it shows the P1 in the glove. Still love that we get this hand sculpt, and I'm happy that it's somewhat doable on an Elite nowadays with the double jointed arms. And of course, as a secondary accessory, we've got this nice hoodie trench coat ordeal, which looks nice on the figure, and I can't lie, I'm definitely excited to use that on potential other action figures that I would like to use that for. But of course, getting into the main man himself, the man of the hour, we've got AJ Styles himself. And first things first, we've got this new head scan, and I am loving this new head scan with this really long hair. You've got the new sculpted beard on there. AJ looking pissed off like he should. Honestly, this is a pretty perfect head scan for, roughly around the time period. And I think it's still fairly accurate to modern day AJ. I don't know, he didn't compete on Raw. I didn't really watch his match, if I'm gonna be too honest. I gotta rewatch Raw a little bit there. I know he teamed up with Penta though, and I saw some of the tag team action they were doing there. Can't remember the opponents though, if I'm gonna be honest. But of course, we've got this nice brand new torso here for AJ Styles. Of course, they did just start giving us the Sin Cara torso, and then AJ Styles got even more jacked, and they were like, well, if you're gonna get more jacked, we're just gonna give you a bigger torso then. And yeah, not arguing though, it does look pretty damn good. It's just now the idea that this is the only AJ with this newer torso until we get another AJ Elite, which kind of sucks. And getting into the lower half of it, this is kind of why. I can understand why people wouldn't want this figure purely because we could have gotten an AJ in tights, but instead we've got AJ in pants. Reason why I'm not complaining about this is because this run kind of reminded me of his Lone Wolf AJ Styles run from TNA, and because of that, I kind of had to pick it up after so much time. Of course, he's got his nice white P1 elbow pad here that's a little bit warped from the packaging, and I say it like that because of how they had his elbow in the packaging. It doesn't even really sit on the elbow properly, or as properly as I would like it to. Sure, if I have him hold his elbow for an absurd amount of time, it'll stay in this position. But yeah, we've got the nice black and white gloves. I don't think there's any P1 logo on the inside of the mic holding hands. And then yeah, we've just got the simple plain black pants with a nice silver buckle. At least that's a nice little sculpted detail. And I mean, of course, the top half of the Elite pose as well, but I'm sure you guys are curious about the bottom half as well. He does kick forward pretty well. His legs snap back into place pretty well. His knees aren't too stiff, and he can definitely do the style splits. But yeah, with all that being said, why don't we get AJ Styles into his, final pose, and we can just kind of go over how we feel about this AJ Styles now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the AJ Styles in his final pose, I can't lie, I really do not have all that much time left to get this review done, aka I ordered some dinner, and well, my dinner is on the way. It said something about being delivered in like the next 10 minutes. So, with that being said, how do I feel about this AJ Styles? Well, this AJ Styles, it's not a bad figure. I'm definitely digging it. I love the vibes I get with it. I get maybe some people were expecting a lot more out of a modern day AJ with a more jacked torso. But in my opinion, I can't hate on it. Especially for me, I could use this as a street gear if I really would like to, and I feel like it would work. Especially if I throw a t-shirt on the AJ and he's cutting a promo, that would be beautiful for a street gear AJ. But yeah, I don't know, there's not really all that much to say. It's an all black gear, black jeans, no designing on them. The gloves are designed, yeah, the gloves have sculpt on them, yes. I do love how they sculpted the wristing as they have been doing. All around for an AJ Styles, it does feel like AJ Styles. From the waist up, from the waist down, it just feels like a random set of Build-A-Figure legs, which is what I think sets this figure a little to the offset. I mean, AJ didn't wear the pants with like logos on them like this, so this was just kind of his casual return look until he got more updated gear, I'm assuming. But, meh, on that note, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rank this AJ Styles figure? Honestly, personally for me, with how this one is, I can't really complain too much, though I will deduct a little bit of points for the fact that the legs are a tad bit stiff still. They're not terrible though, and I will give them that. These are at least posable. No hot water treatment for AJ anytime soon. Maybe just to loosen the legs up a little bit and make them maybe a bit more posable, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. And in fact, I think this figure is pretty damn near perfect. My only other gripe with this figure is how the elbow pad got warped in the packaging. But on that note, what would I rank this figure on a scale of 1 to 10? Honestly, I'm going to give him a good solid 8. You could say a half-point deduction for both the things I mentioned there. A good solid 8 out of 10 I think works just fine, which makes the Dave Meltzer star rating the 1 to 5 stars, the good old 1 to Young Buck match. Or yeah, the good old Young Buck match. I don't know why I said 1 to Young Buck match. Maybe that's how I do say it, and I'm just kind of like thinking, why do I say it like that in the moment? But with it being a good old solid 8 out of 10, I think a good old solid 4 out of 5 should work just fine. And yeah, well, I don't have all that much left to say, so if you guys would like to, feel free to like the video. If you guys did like the video, if you guys didn't like the video, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you guys did like the video, feel free to go check everything out on the channel that is, related to stuff like this, like action figures. Yeah, action figure reviews. We do pig fed content and a whole boatload of other stuff. So just to kind of give you a little load here, no Diddy. Just to give you a little preview of the channel. We just did this 9 hours ago. Kind of blew up a little bit in my opinion. Same thing with part 2 of the United Kingdom tour. The Kurt Angle review, the Great Muta review. We got a bunch of different stuff up on here, including unboxings and many more other things. Oh, there we go. There's an unboxing video right there. So, you know, if you guys would like to, feel free to go check that out. And yeah, on that note as well, if you guys would like to, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. And as of recording, kind of a little whack because I could have swore a few hours ago it was 377, but maybe could have read it a little bit wrong. It is back down to 376. Womp womp, I guess. Big ordeal. But if you guys would like to, feel free to continue that sub count and keep it going higher. After all, we are on the road to 400 subs, no matter if we lose one or gain one. Hopefully we just don't lose too many, but hopefully we gain every last subscriber that we can. But anyway, yeah, I guess on that note, we can head out of here. So have a good rest of your night, day, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone, but if I were, what would I be? You know, would I be in like Germany? Would I be in like Japan? I don't know. Maybe I'm in Mexico. Beats me. Could be Canada for all I know. But on that note, deuces, oozes, yeet.